हिम्मत की गहराई में जाएंगे। शब्द एक हिम्मत है, पर हिम्मत और भगवान की मदद का डीप कनेक्शन है। सच्चाई, हिम्मत और विश्वास। मेरे हिम्मत नहीं है, सच्ची हूँ। हिम्मत नहीं है तो मैं भगवान की मदद नहीं ले सकती हूँ। भगवान ने, भाग्य विधाता बाप ने बच्चों में हिम्मत, उमंग, उत्साह दिलाया है। बच्चे जो करना है सब कर ले। कल पर भरोसा नहीं है। कैसे करेंगे? भगवान कहते तो ही करेंगे, मैं कराऊंगा। तो ये ऐसे ऐसे भगवान के बोल है जो हिम्मत इतनी काम करती आ रही है। मेरे से कई पूछते भी है, मैं साखी होकर के देखते भी हूँ, इतनी हिम्मत कहाँ से आई है? कहेंगी भगवान से आई है। पर भगवान में भी मैंने अपन में विश्वास रखा है तो भगवान मदद देता है। इसमें अंदर से सच्ची लगन है ना, तो हिम्मत और मदद दोनों इकट्ठा। पहले हम इतने ही कहते थे हिम्मत बच्चे, मदद बाप। अभी देखा है, अनुभव करता कहता है, हिम्मत बच्चे की है, 100 गुना 1000 गुना मदद बाप की है। कार्य इतना है जो सर्वशक्तिमान बाप के सिवाय कोई मनुष्य या देवात्मा भी नहीं कर सकता। वो परमात्मा बाप इतना बड़ा अच्छा ऊंचा कार्य, सारे विश्व के कल्याण करने का कार्य, सारी प्रकृति को तमो प्रधान से सतो प्रधान बनाने का काम, कितनी सब मनुष्य आत्माओं में कितने कैसे कैसे विचारों का, कैसे कैसे 5 विकारों के वश हुए पड़े है, कितने कितने मनुष्य आत्माओं से पाप भ्रष्ट कम होते रहे, पर उन सबको न देख सबको श्रेष्ठाचारी बनाना एक भगवान का ही काम है ना। पर भगवान ने हम बच्चों को हिम्मत और विश्वास के आधार पर ऐसा साथ दिया है। तो जो हम उनके साथ से जो भगवान का संकल्प है वो हम बच्चों ने साकार किया है। क्या संकल्प है बच्चे? पवित्र बनो, योगी बनो। हिम्मत है आज की दुनिया में पवित्र बनना, योगी बनना। योगी वो जो कंप्लीट पवित्र हो, जो कंप्लीट पवित्र है वही योगी बन सकता है। वो योग बल ईश्वर से योग लगाना मेरा काम है, शक्ति देना उसका काम है। तो उसमें क्या होता है, ऑलमाइटी अथॉरिटी की शक्ति आत्मा में आने से तो हिम्मत, विश्वास, सच्चाई, निर्भय निर्भय बना देती है। इतना निर्भय है, काल का भी भय नहीं है, क्योंकि बहुत काल से परमात्मा के साथ बुद्धि योग लगाने से अंत मत्ते सोगते एक ईश्वरीय पिता होगा। एक श्रेष्ठ कर्म का जो अच्छी तरह से करने का भाग्य मिला है वही साथ होगा। दुनिया में कोई मेरा दुश्मन नहीं, सब मेरे मित्र है। तो भगवान ने निर्भय निर्वैर बनाया, इसलिए अडोल अचल स्थिति से हिम्मत के साथ उमंग उत्साह के पंख मिल गए हैं। भगवान कहते बच्चे अभी उड़ते रहो और सबको उड़ाते रहो, समय थोड़ा है, अब घर चलना है।
Om Shanti, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you're having a really great weekend. I know for us it's been quite an interesting past few days. You just got a chance to see Daddy Janki again. Not only my personal spiritual mentor that got me onto my path of service and spirituality, but a mentor for millions of people around the world. And if you've been following us for the last few days, you would have heard that we lost her. If her physical form we lost, her spirit is still very obvious. And we're feeling her in a subtle way, giving so many blessings and good wishes. So you might hear or see that we've been doing lots of programs around her. If you haven't gotten a chance to participate in the tribute of Daddy Janki's life, I'd like for you to go to one of the other YouTube links about 2 days ago. I'm sure you'll find it very inspiring and it will move your spirit like no other. We've been glad to be here with you every day since the coronavirus lockdown for us started. And even though the Brahma Kumari's meditation museums, the doors are physically closed, as I had mentioned earlier, our hearts are sure not. We're so open for you, and we've been appreciating coming up with the daily themes, the focal point. Yes, Daddy Janki passing away did shift a little bit, but it actually added to it because of such depth of wisdom and so much power and force in this soul was an incredible experience. And I can't really define what incredible means, but if I were to be able to break it down, it's where when you're with somebody who awakens your purpose, it's somebody who, being with her as an incredible experience, was someone who I could be myself with. It was someone who could tell me things nobody else had the courage to tell me. It was someone who, through her silence, my conscience will be bit, or it would be awakened. Her life of incredibleness made you feel that you could be so much more. Being with someone incredible makes you find the courage to move forward. It makes you want to grow. It doesn't want you to be the same person. So that's what she means to so many of us, and I can say that's what she means to me. I can't say meant. That's what she means to me. Maybe the whole world at a mass level haven't heard about her yet, as yet, but the people who do are people who shape the world. And we all know that her contribution has opened up the transformation of the hearts of so many people. But not only that, she has changed people. Very few people you can come into their vortex or into their worlds and your life changes. Somehow your fortune opens up. Somehow your creativity opens up. Somehow your thinking opens up. Somehow you start to believe in things that you never used to believe in, which were much better than what you thought you were. That was her, and that's how we want you to be. That's how I want to be. I want to be an influence in people's lives in a positive way. Why? Because I've seen my own life change. I've literally seen how much I've changed after Daddy Janki's eyes fell on me, and how much I moved away from a lower vibration of living to the natural vibration of living. And I want to emphasize that. A lower vibration of living versus the natural vibration of living. People talk nowadays about this is our norm. It's not. It will pass if we make sure we stay committed that this is not our norm, that this won't be our norm. And so I'm inviting you to look at the whole world, or the whole word of balance. A lot of us feel like balance has to do with, well, I will do it if I'm in the mood. I'll do it if I have enthusiasm. I'll do it if there's something in it for me. That is actually still an imbalance in the nature of the soul. Balance for us, or definitely for me, balance comes, and I want to give you this picture. Just say for a minute, you consider yourself to be a soul, and your soul is behind your eyes, and that energy is what's running this physical body and the relationships around you and the circumstances and situations. It's attracting the material worth, the material value. It's actually in charge of everything. For example, Daddy Janki's soul left her body, so her body is no longer here traveling. She used to travel over 100,000 miles a year. She's not doing that anymore in that same body, but her soul is still alive. So when we talk about balance and spiritual empowerment, I ask you to look at the balancing of the soul, not how much you think you can physically do or not do. So many people have told me, I'm so bored, or the kids are driving me up a wall, or I don't know how much longer this is going to last. Economically, I don't know how we're going to survive. And those are all natural emotions at this time because of what's going on outside of us. But I ask myself, why are we as souls going through the same collective karmic predicament? We're being asked to reduce our actions. We're being asked to stay inside. We're being asked to come up with new ways of coexisting on the planet. Virtual has become a big thing. So maybe we're being asked to find balance. And so when you look at balance, I ask you to look at balancing your journey first from a soul level. How old of a soul are you? Do you even have any idea? If you're watching this program, I can assure you, you are not a new soul. That means you've been here before. You've done it, done that. You're looking for something much more elevating right now. So balancing first has to come from looking at you, the soul. How deep is your soul legacy? How long have you been here? What are the circumstances and events that you've been through that has shaped the person that you are today? And the balancing will come from the way you're feeling about your current life and current situation. If you happen to be feeling anxiety and depression and fear, that's not just coming from the present. That's coming from something of the past. If you're feeling bored, unenthusiastic, feeling like giving up, feeling like this isn't working, waiting for God to come and cast a magic spell on you, that's not the balance. For me, balance starts with a deep complementary virtue. It's your virtue of honesty with yourself. And let's just say that I want to balance my soul's journey. So I start here and I ask, to what extent do my thoughts, words, and action match? first question that you should ask yourself. Do my thoughts, words, and deeds, are they in alignment? Are they all principle-based? Are they free? Are they liberating? Or I have a thought, but my action doesn't follow the thought. My words don't show that either. I say I'm a Christian, I'm a Jew, I'm a Hindu, but my behavior doesn't show the values of the scripture of that particular faith. I say that I love my spouse, but I yell and scream, cheat, lie, and deceive them. That's an imbalance. And whenever there's an imbalance, there will definitely be sorrow. Because it's almost like a chair with four legs and one leg is broken off. You know you're going to fall. And when you look at the area of falling, look at being angry, being scared, being depressed, having anxiety, being unfaithful, not able to love, not able to give love, not able to receive love, not able to dream. I'm falling. Why? I haven't struck my balance. If you were like me in my early 20s, I used to look back, maybe when I got into my 30s, I used to look back and say certain things that weren't going the way that I would envision it to go. And I go, I don't understand. I mean, I did everything right. I crossed my T's, dot my I's, I said yes, I carried myself well, I was respectful to people who were older than me or people in positions of authority, and yet I would get back something else in return. And I would say, why is that? Is it that my feeling wasn't clear? Is it that this is a karmic soul journey that is so deep that I have to invest so much more of my goodness in order to straighten out that debt? It was clear to me, though, back in my 20s, this was a definite imbalance. But one thing that I felt that was my savior was that I believed my good karmas will always liberate me. So I think that when we're looking at the balance, whether it's in relationship, whether it's in finance, whether it's in our health, don't look at it just from where you are. Look at it from a soul perspective. Accept that you've been through a lot more than what you're going through now. And some of those memories and some of those experiences are still guiding you. And they're still influencing the way that you see the world. There was a time that if somebody very close to me died, I would start crying and think, oh my God, I've lost this person. But as I grew into understanding that I'm a soul and the soul is eternal, and that the soul is an energy and it has pure feelings and pure qualities, then that never dies. And I realize, oh, so the soul enters a body, plays its part, and departs, finds another body, a costume, comes, plays its part, and then departs. So we are evolving. So I ask you, have you found your balance? Are you looking at balance not just from a to-do list and a not to-do list? Or let me stop right there, your to-do list. That you're trying to balance your life, fulfilling your to-do list. What if you just looked at a balance more of, have I checked that what I need to do is to keep my feelings good? Think about it for a little bit. Have you checked that in order to find balance, I've got to do the most courageous thing I might ever do in my lifetime? And that is to promise myself I have to feel good in this job that I'm in, with the person that I've married, with the children that I have, with the siblings that I have, the in-laws that I have, the country that I'm in, the religion that I'm born into, the skin color that I'm born into, the quality of my hair, my gender. Are you willing to balance out all the imbalances by practicing to feel authentically good, knowing that your complete and stage of perfection is in front of you? I want you to watch this video. It has some nice tidbits on it on finding balance, and I think it might take you to another level of understanding balance as well.
Follow your heart's instincts. It's not just the pumping station, but it also guides us through feelings. Feelings versus thoughts, mind versus heart. Mentally aware on one side, and on other side, awareness with feelings. Logically, we are all capable. Heart-wise also, we are all capable. So when things are happening naturally, heart doesn't give you any signal. But the moment something goes wrong, heart will speak louder. It's as simple as that. Remember, when you wanted $5 from your father's wallet, and you stick to Dad, I want $5, and he doesn't give you. And then you dare to take it from his pocket wallet, your heart becomes heavier. Whenever you are going to do anything absurd, wrong, the heart will run heavier, it will beat faster. There is a physiological response as well. You develop some sort of fear. If someone asks you a question, what's your name? And you say, I'm Jerome, but you're Alex. That's when your heart will say, oh, why are you saying Jerome? You're Alex. So anything natural, heart doesn't give signal. Your heart will tell you, don't speak a lie. A small voice inside you will make you feel, don't do this. So when fear is there, don't do it. Fear is another sign that you are on a wrong track. And if you are going to perpetrate in the same direction, follow your fears and do something crazy, that in itself will create more fear. So one has to see and analyze your heart status. Is it beating faster? Is it heavier? Does it keep reminding me that think over this again? And this is what I call eclipse of conscience, where eclipsing your mind's logic with the feelings of your heart. I think this eclipsing of both, juxtaposing and becoming one, is the ideal state. That what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling, they are both in one. More we listen to heart, clearer the voice will become. Later on, heart may not even give a signal of right and wrong because you have become that way. You have become wisdom personified, where you don't have to worry about heart signal or mind signal. This is evolution to my mind, evolution of consciousness. But beauty would be when the mind also agrees with the heart. To understand this and appreciate the beauty of creating an eclipse of logic with the feeling, it is because of the meditation. Meditation sensitizes our being so much, our conscience so much. It refines our thinking, it refines our intellect, it refines my being, and it makes me so wiser in the process. We are making use of it to arrive at a higher level. This happens naturally when there is a right way of meditation is taught, where you are able to go dive deeper into the recesses of your heart without any prejudice.
Welcome back, everyone. So as you can see, Daji, who's also a physician, author and spiritual leader in India, I think he concurs. It's all about the feelings in your heart. So here's the question. Is my imbalance due to me not paying attention to the feelings that are occurring inside of the soul? How many of us have done extremely good deeds? Somebody comes along, criticizes the deed, and your whole day is ruined, and everything that you've put through the project feels like it was fruitless because of who said what they said and how they said it, and your feelings were just shattered. So imagine you rolling those feelings over that night when you go to bed, you tell your spouse, your partner, or you call a friend up, or the next morning you wake up, you still think about it. Then you see that person at work and the feelings roll over. Even though you're smiling and you're saying hello, your mind is thinking something else. That is also an imbalance. So when we're thinking something and saying something else, it is a sign of our imbalance. Did you know that? And if that has become our new norm, just imagine the state that we're in. So of course, if you come and even ask me for a favor, if I don't trust or like you, if I don't feel enthusiastic, if there's nothing in it for me, then average response would be, well, why should I help you? But what if you have been taking care of your feelings? What if you have been looking inside of yourself and making a committed promise? I'm not going to hurt you anymore. You mean too much to me to allow the guy on the highway to cut me off, or to allow my mother-in-law to not look at me with love or respect. I'm not going to let my feelings keep going down to the floor level just because somebody who I value senses or throws out an expression that you're not worthy, you're no good. And you believe in those feelings and they take you off your balance. We're naturally born filled with balance. That means we have all the qualifications, the virtues, the feelings, the energy. We have all the energy in us. We are just loving being. When's the last time you saw a really, really angry, vicious, arrogant looking baby? I've never seen one. Even when they're crying for food, it's not that they're angry, they're trying to communicate, but they can't get the words out of their little tiny mouths. Because we're not born that way. We become that because we've not been paying attention to these thoughts and these feelings. So I want to read something to you which we had in this morning's class, and I thought it was very powerful. These teachings are coming from really deep-rooted thought processes. I would say it comes from the divine because it questions or challenges you to think much deeper than what a self-help book would do for you. And if we don't go deeper into the cavity of the soul, the pain will still be there. How many of you have had a root canal? What's it? Root canal, right? What's it called? A root canal. Anyway, it's been a long few days for me. But if that dentist doesn't go in and take out that nerve where the pain is coming from, you're going to walk with that pain every day. So have you spoken to yourself in such a way that you've given yourself permission to actually tell yourself, I am ready to strike my balance and re-emerge the energy of divinity and power that I was born with to match my thoughts, words, and deeds? You see, we've got to start to have these conversations because if we don't, we'll always be off balance. And that means I'm always falling. Everything's going to bother me. Coronavirus will bother me. Not having enough food, not having enough money, the fear of the uncertainty of the future. Versus, if that's happening, what thoughts do I need to create to make my destiny best? That's what I've been thinking during the coronavirus. You know, what can I do with what I have to survive and to help those around me to survive? I won't be happy if you're not doing well either. It wouldn't make me feel good. So in this morning's class, there's some deep thinking. So if you have a pen and paper, take it out now. I'll give you a few seconds. If you're on your smartphone, then get out your notebook. You won't be able to watch this, so you might have to turn on your laptop. But just think about these words, because this is all about helping us to be not only balanced, but to feel that we're truly living a balanced and a truthful life. Okay? So imagine if you have a left and a right hand. So let's say your right hand gets all the work done, and please, no pun intended to all the left-handers out there. Let's say your left hand isn't your strongest. What does it represent? And so feeling like if both had strength and if both were working in the right direction, what would that be like? So let's just take a look at some of these thoughts and feelings. So the first thing that we'd like you to check is, to what extent have you put into action, that is, into your practical life, every elevated thought and word? That's powerful, right? So to what extent have you put into action, that is, in your practical life, every, not some, every elevated thought and word? Actions are things that people can see practically very easily. Everyone can see, and everyone easily recognizes you by your actions. That's why when you go for a job interview, they check your body language. That's why when you tell a lie, they look into your eyes. They check your body language. That's why when people want to determine what your personality is like, they check your body language. You can experience something through actions. And this is why so many will say, demonstrate it by doing it in a practical way. Don't just tell me. You've heard people say that to you. Let me see the proof, they say. When they see it in your practical actions, they would then accept that what you are saying is the truth. This is an aspect of balance, that what you are saying is the truth. It's going to take us a while to get to that, but at least this is a first step perhaps. So think about it. What you are saying is the truth. And not just if I'm angry, I'm just going to tell you, why are you angry? Will lead you to your truth. Not just you're angry because he or she did this. Okay, he or she did it. But why did you get angry? That will help you to go towards where your truth is. Got it? Okay. So along with thoughts and words, actions also have to be such that they have the capacity to make everything clear by being practical examples. The speed of actions performed by someone who performs with their thoughts and actions in an elevated way is very fast. But when your thoughts and words are mixed, and the motives are mixed with a selfish desire, it is slow and obstacles appear. This is deep for thinking, everyone. So, check yourselves. This is a very powerful point here. If you don't have the speciality, then you automatically allow, if you don't have the speciality of checking and changing yourself, then you automatically allow like your left side, your left hand, your left motives, your mixed motives to take charge. But what's important is that this is your time to perform the highest quality actions that become instrumental in revealing the beauty and the divinity of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, God the Father. You have the ability to reveal the love of the Father with your spiritual eyes. And by showing your spiritual happiness, you offer hope to the rest of the world. To maintain a face with spiritual happiness, too, is an action. So, ask yourself, have you become one who performs elevated actions with your thoughts and your words? Wasn't that incredible? So, when we're looking at balancing ourselves, we have to balance it out from an intentional level first, right? And I'm going to go a little bit down further because I was just so inspired by all of these classes today. Here's how you can see, how you might feel like you're balancing or not balancing. Check. Do I cooperate with an elevated task? Do I cooperate even if the task is like God's task to make the world into a better place? Do I feel that my thoughts, words, and actions are connected to that? Always. Do I cooperate with my body, my mind, even my wealth? Do I use my body, my mind, and my wealth for elevated actions? We're finding balance here. We're finding balance here. Or do I only choose to cooperate sometimes? Think about it. Do I cooperate when I have the time? Or when I have enthusiasm? Or when I'm in a mood? Do I keep my mind, my body, my wealth, my time engaged in that which is elevated? This is how we find balance. Lastly, love means a meeting. Just as when you meet one another, you shake your hands or hug one another, we can't do that now. But that is a sign of love. Where there's love, there will be no waste thoughts. Where there's love, there will be no waste thoughts. Another sign of balance. I won't have waste thoughts about myself. I won't have waste thoughts about the one that I love. I won't have waste thoughts about the one that I question if I will ever love them. Balance. The sign of having love and not having any waste thoughts is that this person will always have powerful thoughts. When there are thoughts with soul conscious feelings, when there are thoughts with soul conscious feelings, you are balanced. You're like the right arm. So check, am I harmonized with 99% of the people in my life? Starting with myself. looking at the personality of God, God is always generous, benevolent, selfless. In fact, the more you live your life in this way, the more expanded it will become. Last but not least, balance also means power. So you have to check to what extent you believe you've become powerful. Are your thoughts powerful? Are your eyes powerful? Is your attitude powerful? Check. Because the sign of those with powerful thoughts, vision, and attitude is that because they're powerful, they're able to transform anyone. Love it. It's just fantastic. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing, everyone? I hope your intellect is bubbling as you heard these thoughts being shared. And of course, we've reached that segment if you have any questions that you'd like to raise to me. So, I feel like balance is really connected more to our feelings and what you're feeling. And to what extent have I been able to check that my feelings are noble, my feelings are pure, my feelings are elevated? Because until I tap into that norm, to check my feelings, to keep them pure, and to use my thoughts and words and deeds in a way that energy supports evolution, illumination, progress, the future that's brighter than 1,000 suns, a golden age, until I serve my thoughts, words, and actions, that energy, towards creating a golden age, I won't be balanced. Because any aspect of anger, rage, depression, fear, disappointment is an imbalance. When you're balanced, everything works. You ever watch those people on, Santosh, what do you call those people who walk in that tightrope? It's a tightrope, and they have this balancing stick. And as they're walking on it, I think it was in that video too, as they're walking, if one side is even a little down, that means even if you have a little negative feeling, it's going to create an obstacle in your life. And I've been paying a lot of attention to that in my exile here. Clean out that heart of yours. That was one of the things Daddy wanted us to do. Keep your heart clean and pure. Eventually, even if anyone doesn't trust you or doesn't care for you, maybe they're reading right through to you and they're going, oh, he's like this or she's like this. That's their imbalance too, Even if they're criticizing, defaming, or putting you down, that's also their imbalance that they have to deal with. But if you take it personally and you become even more imbalanced than you are, where's your hope? So we're going to have to find a way to strike our own balance by paying attention to our feelings. Do your feelings serve your most highest purpose? Does this happen for you? All right, so I'm not sure if there are any questions today. There's one. Okay, I like at least one question today. Don't worry, it's Sunday evening. Everyone says, Sister Jenna, can't you change? This is the time for dinner. I go, I'm sorry, I can't, because it's okay. We're doing this, really we started this for, just our community, and then when it just went out public for the meditation museum visitors and fans, we wanted them to know that there is a place here for you. And as much as we'd like to alter everything to suit your needs, we are doing the best that we can. And for right now, this is the best that we can for the 6:30 to 7:30. So still eat up your meal. Maybe you can watch a rerun if you'd like later on.
The question question is, what are the signs of imbalance to look for?
What are the signs of imbalance? When you start to self-doubt yourself, when you start to feel like a lack of confidence in doing things, even if it's a small thing, that's a big sign that you're falling off your balance. If you notice that your thoughts are more focused on your past, it's an imbalance. If you're noticing that your thoughts are leading more into thoughts of desires or expectations, it's an imbalance. Now, that's the subtle aspect of your thoughts. Let's say you're not somebody who pays attention to what you're thinking and feeling, and you have to wait until it actually shows up at your door. And the obstacle in the situation comes where it doesn't turn out the way you want it. That's your proof that vibrationally at a thought level, there's been imbalance of thoughts. So I would look out first and foremost today, even check, how did you receive my response? Is it with a curiosity? I'm going to see if what she says is true. Or is it with, those people always say this or that, or I don't think that was a good enough answer to pacify my heart. There's a skepticism, there might be a little bit of an attachment to who you think you are. That is also an imbalance. So if I'm not moving in the spirit of benevolence and selflessness and acceptance, with the openness to grow, I mean, I can accept somebody if they're different than me. I might not invite them for dinner, but I'll accept them as they are, which means I leave their company without casting judgment. Again, I might not invite them for dinner, but it doesn't mean I don't respect and accept them as they are. Because energetically, we're all different, no? All right.
Another question. So service doesn't have to be in person. It will work when we are working on ourselves, and then it should just flow naturally.
I think service to humanity, we've seen how much we have put out of ourselves physically in whether it's a non-profit, social service, even running the government. I've been sending so many blessings and good vibrations to our administration, to all the healthcare workers. I've been sending good vibrations to FEMA, to everyone who's trying to help with getting this thing all together. Do you know why? Because I know my pure thoughts, maybe in their sleep, maybe in the atmosphere, maybe it'll just be the comforting moment where in the midst of all the crisis and chaos, you just felt like an angel was blessing you. So I believe that in the power of pure thinking, we can do service and we can be of service. First and foremost, your environment becomes so beautiful and sacred. It's like there are 100,000 angels around you. And we actually have a song entitled 100,000 Angels. And so I think the physical form of service is also important. I mean, if someone is on the floor, don't leave them and just give them your blessings and keep walking. And of course, it depends on the person. If my friend falls, I just don't send good wishes only. I remembered once I was on a flight. It was on Air India, and it was one of those grueling flights many, many years ago, almost 30 years ago. And myself and the other sister were sitting, we ended up sitting all the way in the back row. And somehow there was just a lot of drama in those last 10 or 20 rows of that flight. Whether it was a woman and a man screaming at each other, then there was one scene where a woman fell just right there between me and the other sister, like boom. And both me and the other sister just looked at each other with love. And then we looked down at her and just started to give her vibrations of blessings because we didn't know what to do. So the stewardess just came running quickly to see what happened. And we just said, I don't know. She just kind of came and just collapsed. And we just gave her love, and I just didn't know what else to do. So even if you sometimes physically don't know what to do, don't underestimate the power of your pure wishes. It is a form of establishing your balance as well.
Another question. What steps exactly should one take when we find imbalance for feeling self-doubt due to criticism?
Pause. Just pause. Take a deep breath and really go inwards and say, I just don't like how that made me feel. And just that, excuse me, just that level of self-honesty is your first step. Okay, so pause and take a deep breath and see, is it true what they said? Is it really true what they said? And then just check, who am I? What have I been? What am I doing? And check if your thoughts, words, and deeds are matching. And have they come as an instrument to help you to optimize your power and your worth? That's a question to ask. Another thing that I have done in the past to check for me is when the criticism and the defamation comes, and if I'm disturbed, it means my spirit is still not full. It's like they say in Jamaican slang, an empty barrel make a lot of noise. And so that means if I'm still affected and I'm still hurt, it means at a spirit level of experience where my divinity and sacredness and love and purity and peace is concerned, I don't have a lot of those feelings in me. It means I've got space. Anybody can come and disturb my spirit. So those are signs. So I would look at it where it's so important for you to really just breathe that through and don't react instantly. And take a moment. And if you have to cry and let it out, okay, that's fine. But what helps me a lot is I will record on my iPhone how I'm feeling and hear it back. I'd make it be my own therapy. I'll write a letter about how I'm feeling, read that back, and I'll ask, Jen, is that where you want to stay? And all the time, my answer is no. And so from that, the thought will emerge to take you to the next dimension. Okay? I hope that will help you.
Another question, when feelings and vibrations are in alignment, is that a sign of balance? How does one know signs when these two are aligned?
When feelings and vibrations are aligned, is that balance? Yes. And again, I want to emphasize if the feelings are supported by the vibrations of love and purity and peace and joy and wisdom, yes. There are some of us that have feelings that are very angry, and it's aligned with a whole bunch of other angry people in a room, and we feel like that's a balance. It's an imbalance in the long run, but it might be of some support temporarily, but it's still not healthy for the spirit. So I think like where science is today, is it balanced? I'm going to take the fifth on that. I think it's important for us to value the hard work and the effort of scientists and their role in the world to find cures for diseases and to move things forward. Like, look, YouTube. I send the owners of YouTube good blessings all the time. A camera, for example, an audio, a mic, electricity, a car, a television, Wi-Fi. So I think with those tools that have come along as well, they're helping us to not be disturbed so that we can pay more attention to the soul. So I think if we can use these scientific gadgets and stuff in a useful way, they can become supporters in us not having to worry about the hardships of life, but to use the free mental, emotional, spiritual time we have in a good way.
Connecting to that, yes, another connecting question. Could feelings mislead vibrations or vice versa?
Yes. Your feelings could mislead vibrations, and vibrations could mislead feelings. It depends on where you are at that moment. If I'm in soul conscious awareness, and I feel a vibration that is negative, it might mean like I can sense danger, then I'll move away. I don't walk into the danger. If I'm in a negative, like a body conscious vibration, and I feel somebody with pure feelings, I can get irritated. That has happened so many times. I've had people, they've come into the museum and it's too peaceful and they leave. They go, no, I don't like it here. Because the vibrations are so peaceful, they didn't want to look inside. Do you understand? So it can mislead you. So that's why I ask you to check, are my thoughts, words, and action coming from an elevated place? And elevated is an intention and an action that's consistently wanting to bring benefit. Benefit to your life, but also benefit to the lives of others around you. So look at it from that perspective before you make your determination.
He has one last thing.
Who is he?
Julio.
Okay, Julio, welcome.
Is intuition the key word between the two, feelings and vibration? Let's say the referee.
I think that when you have a great deal of knowledge, sometimes there isn't any need for intuition, and I'm talking about spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge automatically gives you a sense of intuition because everything you do is based on the understanding of the universal laws of the universe. God didn't make these laws, they were always here. And so we need to develop enough knowledge of who I am, the soul, who is God, the Supreme Soul, that we're all in this state because of the law of karma. And guess what? Stuff isn't linear anymore, it's cyclical. So what can we do to understand all of these factors? Now, when I don't have a sufficient self-knowledge, spiritual knowledge of that, some of us do have certain skills. Some of us do sense things because there is a sensitivity about our personality. And that sensitivity can pick up a lot of negative vibrations. And what's in the world nowadays are more negative vibrations than positive. So you don't want to be so susceptible and so opened intuitively to vibrations. You want to have the power of spiritual knowledge to counteract whatever the vibrations are in the world, so that you more are an influencer of making the world a better place than being the one that the world keeps influencing you and you trying to navigate through all that energy. So I hope that helped you and made some sense. We're going to have to go. We're coming to the end of our show. I'm so sorry. But thank you all for your wonderful questions and for tuning in. And really feel free to share this with your friends. And when we open up the meditation museums, you'll be the first to know that our daily America Meditating radio show is still offering you beautiful programs on air on any of the networks that are out there. You can go to americameditating.org and keep in touch by subscribing to the Meditation Museum if you haven't as not. Please stay home. Please find creative ways to do something amazing. And we started the Stay at Home Meditation Challenge. If you'd like to record one of your meditation challenges and post it and just use the hashtag Stay at Home Meditation Challenge. Thank you so much for joining us. Take good care. Here's a nice meditation, or I think a song or something for the end. Take care.
The meditation on creating a new story. So much of the time, I experience sorrow because I tell myself the wrong story about who I am and what life is about. If I